Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and tonight our focus is on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States of America. We'll be focusing tonight on his visit to the Silicon Valley and what does that mean for the future as far as the Digital India program goes, and investment into India is also concerned. We'll be talking about all this and more to a special guest as well. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Top American CEOs tell Prime Minister Modi they're excited about the India growth story, but ask him to speed up the pace of reforms. No takers for UN Chief Ban Ki-moon's suggestion of an India-Pakistan meeting at the UN General Assembly, even as Pakistan claims India is building a wall along the line of control. War of letters between Bihar Chief Minister and BJP ministers. Ravi Shankar Prasad and Arun Jaitley counter Nitish Kumar's claim that Modi is trying to sell a myth in Bihar. And the government confirms 14 deaths of Indians in the Hajj Stampede tragedy. 13 Indians are also among the hundreds injured. Well, our top focus this evening on day 3 of his US visit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the UN Sustainable Development Summit later tonight. Modi's address precedes the formal adoption of the post-2015 New Sustainable Development Agenda. The post-2015 Development Agenda has been set after almost 3 years of open global consultations. It addressed some pressing issues that the world faces today: extreme poverty, social, economic and environmental dimensions of sustainability, transformation of economies for jobs and inclusive growth, building peaceful and prosperous societies, and forging a new global partnership being some of them. Now, the current UN Development Agenda, based on the Millennium Development Goals, ends in 2015. The Sustainable Development Goals will replace the Millennium Development Goals as the new global goals to be accomplished by 2030.
United Nations today meets for the Sustainability Development Summit, which is being attended by the leaders from all over the world. India is one of the biggest stakeholders in meeting these goals, so it would be interesting to see how the Prime Minister outlines the responsibilities and the as a nation. This is Gurdeep Seppal with cameraman Sudipto Das from New York for Rajya Sabha TV.
And at a dinner with the heads of the famed $4.5 trillion club, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that governance reform was his #1 priority. He assured the CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies that his government would simplify procedures, speed up decision-making and increase accountability.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has promised to make governance reform his #1 priority as he met top American CEOs with a net worth of $4.5 trillion. He presented a fact sheet on the steps taken by his government in the last 1 year.
Prime Minister heard from each and every one of them on what their plans for India were, what are the problems that they were facing, how we could resolve them. And by and large, the mood was very upbeat. There was general consensus that the Prime Minister, is effecting change in India. The only thing that all the CEOs said is, please make that change faster.
The CEOs attending the meet seemed satisfied with it, as they described it as a report card. They also saw this as a reflection of the great transparency in Modi's style of governance.
I think the meeting was very positive. So Prime Minister Modi is clearly somebody who listens. Clearly somebody who is interested in seeing India, both its government and its economy, perform better and better. And as a consequence, he is all ears. And I think we very much appreciate that. And I think he is making progress.
Well, we all have concerns about the speed. We'd like to see more action more quickly. But directionally, the investments in infrastructure, energy, the vision for the future, pulling the country together, goods and services tax reform, all extremely positive.
The CEOs seemed content that a lot of progress had been made in the past year, but said it was inaccurately assessed and reported.
Of course, I mean, there were constructive comments about what can be improved even more in India, but I think it was all very optimistic.
And I think the thing that I was encouraged by is the Prime Minister didn't flinch. He understood the issues and he recognized the role of government, his government, in moving things forward.
At the meeting, the Prime Minister also said that even though FDI had fallen all over the world, in India it has increased by 40%. The meeting has been termed as successful by both sides. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And after wooing investors in New York, Modi will head to the Silicon Valley in California tomorrow, becoming the first Indian Prime Minister to do so in over 3 decades. RSTV's Krishnanand Tripathi tells us more about what Modi is aiming for during this visit.
Arriving to an enthusiastic welcome in New York, Prime Minister Narendra Modi looking to swing Silicon Valley. Saturday and Sunday will see him wooing the global IT giants. Much of his pitch will feature the Digital India program. The 4.5 lakh crore project aims to create the IT-empowered Indian citizenry and put the delivery of all public services on the digital highway.
We require investment, we require technology, and which is the country which has both? United States. So certainly the Prime Minister's visit can be a very important stepping stone towards influencing US investors to look at India more positively.
In California, the Prime Minister will meet Sundar Pichai, the Indian-born CEO of Google, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, among other top IT leaders. Modi will also jointly address a town hall meeting with Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook.
So what he is planning, or maybe planning in his current visit, is that he is going to attract more number of companies to start their branches in India, and also help the overall Digital India campaign.
Solar power is another big-ticket item on Prime Minister's agenda. He will target a capacity addition of 100 gigawatt in 7 years. Also on the agenda is a visit to Tesla Motors facility in Palo Alto, California. Tesla created a buzz when it unveiled wall-mounted lithium-ion rechargeable 10 kilowatt solar-powered batteries this year. India gets solar radiation for 300 to 330 days, but has struggled to find a suitable storage solution to expand off-grid use of solar power. Krishnanand Tripathi's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And cybersecurity analyst Subimal Bhattacharjee now joins us to help us understand, as far as this visit of the Prime Minister goes to Silicon Valley, it is of critical importance, given the fact that the recent avatar of the Silicon Valley has been really created by a lot of Indians as well, and the Indian contribution has been very high. So what can we hope to achieve from this visit?
Well, I think one of the first things that we need to realize is that while we are exporting significantly to the Silicon Valley over the years, and now we are exporting beyond the 100 billion per year mark, there are a lot of new developments in technology that is happening, that's moving forward. That's where India needs to make its mark. For example, you are having the Digital India network here to connect so many people, so many millions of people from various corners of the country. And in terms of technology, Internet of Things is going to come in a big way, and all of the CEOs that the Prime Minister is supposed to meet, for example, you mentioned about Google, Apple, all of them are at the forefront of technology.
Right.
So I think it is very, very crucial, and it's a great message that the Prime Minister is giving, that he is himself going and pitching the program and the possibilities in the nation to those tech leaders at a point of time when even they are doing some revolutionary changes and in terms of concept.
All right. So India, of course, also remains one of the biggest markets as far as the users or the consumers of the Silicon Valley products goes. So, of course, India playing a critical role over there. But, Subimal, let's also talk about the fact that as far as cybersecurity and even cyber laws, for that matter, in India are concerned, these companies would have a few concerns. I mean, we had that the entire encryption controversy just a couple of days ago. So the government, as far as reforms goes, as was the buzzword in New York, could be talking about the same thing in Los Angeles as well.
Yes, I think, cybersecurity is a focus area for the government. And while you mentioned about the encryption policy, the good thing is that it got introduced today, it got taken off tomorrow, the moment it was realized that it's not matching up to the current existing public acceptance and standards. So I think, it's a thinking government, or it's a government that is focused. The larger picture on cybersecurity is that while the global efforts are on to build up the right alliances and partnerships and a level of competence, I think, India needs to build up its own capacity. We are telling that, we need, as part of the national cybersecurity policy, we are saying that we need 500,000 people. We need to make India a hub of cybersecurity products and services. Now, one of the most important thing that comes is the chip. We don't have, any fabricating unit or fab, as we call, silicon fabs anywhere in the country. Now, unless you have as fab in this country, you don't address the basic premise of security, because every device today works on a chip. This is definitely something that we need to pick up from the Silicon Valley, and I am aware, that this is something that's being also looked at as part of the larger picture to move much beyond, only the exports story and and the larger reach out story of digital India. The strategic angle is also very much in the focus of the Prime Minister's speech up there.
Yes, in fact, as India digitizes more and more, the strategic angle is going to play a critical role. And do we see more efforts by especially these companies, the tech companies, the Googles and the others of the world to do more in India? Or do you think enough action is already taking place, given the fact that India is, of course, figures rather prominently in the plans of all these companies?
Well, a lot of the R&D work around security and even the next round of growth of the internet happens in India. For example, you take Symantec, which is popularly the manufacturer of the Norton antivirus. Now, half of the R&D works of that product happens in India. So India is nothing new, or India's talents are nothing new for the Silicon Valley. The question is that Digital India offers an opportunity. Now, what is that opportunity and what is the scale at which they come? That is something I think, we will really need to look at, because we need to give them the additional comfort to feel that, this is a market. You know how China behaves. There are a lot of restrictions, and more so as the internet is growing in that country. But India hasn't restricted any of the US corporations, and I'm sure, this is something that's in the focus of the CEOs, and that's why everyone is very keen and, interested to meet the Prime Minister. So I think, it's on right track.
All right, it seems to be on the right track. Let's see what develops tomorrow. But thank you very much, Subima, for coming in and helping us understand what the Prime Minister's visit could really mean as far as India's ties with the Silicon Valley go. Now, moving on, meanwhile, Pakistan has complained to the UN Security Council, alleging that India is planning to build a wall along the line of in violation of the world body's resolutions. India downplayed the allegations, saying it will give a reply only if the UN reacts to the letter. The fresh Indo-Pak spat comes amid UN Chief Ban Ki-moon's urging both leaders to meet during the UN General Assembly.
The war of words between India and Pakistan that began since the cancellation of the NSA-level talks has reached the UNSC now. After sparring over ceasefire violations and decisions to call off talks, Pakistan has filed a written complaint in UN Security Council against India for allegedly planning to build a wall along the LOC. In a letter written by Pak envoy to UN, Islamabad raised concerns that these structures are meant to convert into sort of an international border. According to the MEA, Pakistan's complaint is based on submission by Hizbul chief Saeed Salahuddin. India said that it will respond appropriately when time comes. There have been another letter written by Pakistan that accused India of stalling bilateral talks. India has dismissed it as a false allegation.
We have been aware of the two letters that have been written. The first letter was written on the 4th of September. And the letter dated the 4th of September stated that there was no bilateral dialogue. Well, after that, the BSF and the Pak Rangers have already met. So I think that letter itself has contradicted itself, that there is no dialogue. There has been a dialogue. As far as the second letter is concerned, I believe this is based on some kind of a submission made by Mr. Salahuddin, who, as you know very well, is a person that we consider to be a global terrorist. So at the appropriate time, we will respond to this.
According to reports, Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is likely to raise Kashmir issue at the UN General Assembly. However, India is not too worried about it.
See, the first thing is, has there any action been taken by the UN on these letters? I think that's the first question. If there is action taken by the UN, we will respond appropriately. If there is no action taken by the UN, then this itself tells you that nobody has taken cognizance of that.
The UN Chief Ban Ki-moon has urged the two countries to sort out differences through dialogue. He said that the 70th UN General Assembly provides the right platform for the Indian and Pakistani leadership to meet. However, there are no meetings scheduled between PM Modi and his Pak counterpart Sharif during the course of the session. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, time for us to take a very quick break. Coming up on the other side, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley kickstarts the credit campaign under Mudra scheme, targets loan of more than 1 lakh crore rupees to 37 lakh entrepreneurs by March next year. More on that on the other side.
Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, with the Bihar poll campaign gaining momentum, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar accelerated his attack on the centre over the issue of the special category status to the state. He alleged that the centre is pruning schemes and the state is being deprived of its due, a charge that has not gone down too well with the BJP. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today gave a point-by-point rebuttal to Nitish's claims.
Letters are flying between Patna and New Delhi over Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 1.25 lakh crore rupees package for Bihar. On Thursday, a fourth letter was dispatched by Nitish Kumar to Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. In his letter, the Bihar Chief Minister claimed that the Prime Minister was selling a well-conceived myth to Bihar. Nitish pointed out that some of the ambitious projects mentioned in the package need land, but the onus for that has been left to the state government, which made it non-feasible. You are reasonable in assuming that state will provide land for all projects you have proposed, but fail to appreciate the fine point regarding additional financial burden on a poor state like Bihar. The BJP was quick to react to Nitish's letter. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad made a point-by-point rebuttal to the Chief Minister's claims. He also quoted sources to drive home his point.
12-13 में 17,452 करोड़ रुपये के पूंजी निवेश का प्रस्ताव आया था. 17,452 करोड़. अगले साल वो घटकर 6,059 करोड़ रह गया. 6059 करोड़. नीतीश जी, एक साल में इतनी गिरावट कहां से आ गई कि 3 गुना पूंजी निवेश के प्रस्ताव कम हो गए. नीतीश जी, इसका सोर्स है बिहार इकोनॉमिक सर्वे 13-14.
Exchanges between the JDU and the BJP have been going on for a month now. It was started with a letter by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on August 28th. The letter contained details of the financial package for Bihar. On September 4th, Nitish Kumar responded, to which Jaitley responded on September 9th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Now, the government targets to grant 1.22 lakh crore rupees loans to micro and marginal business under the Mudra scheme by March next year. Launching a mega credit drive under the Mudra scheme today, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that so far 24,000 crore rupees has already been disbursed to around 37 lakh small entrepreneurs. He also handed over loan sanction letters to several entrepreneurs during the event in Delhi. Jaitley said that these entrepreneurs will be exempted from furnishing any kind of bank guarantee to avail of a loan under this facility.
इस वर्ष 31 मार्च 2016 तक इस वर्ष 1,22,000 करोड़ रुपया बैंकिंग व्यवस्था से 50,000, 1 लाख या उससे थोड़ा ज्यादा इन छोटे छोटे लोगों को दें, जिसके माध्यम से ये कोई ना कोई व्यवसाय खड़ा कर पाएं और इस देश में करोड़ों की संख्या में हम लोग नए उद्यमी, नए एंटरप्रेन्योर्स खड़े करते हैं. Let's
now get you some more national news and updates nationwide. The Chhattisgarh police has seized a huge haul of explosives that was suspected to be supposedly to be delivered to Maoist rebels. 2 consignments of explosives, including 1,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate and 750 kilograms of gelatin, have been seized. Police are trying to find the people behind the illegal transportation of the consignment. CBI has moved the Supreme Court seeking custodial interrogation of social activist Teesta Setalvad and her husband. They've been charged with failing to cooperate in the probe of the alleged FCRA violation and posing a threat to communal harmony. Alarmed by a spurt in dengue cases, the CAG has ordered audit of the preparedness of the Delhi government and local authorities. Delhi's Health Minister Satyendra Jain also conducted surprise checks at government hospitals today. So far, 28 people have died due to dengue in the national capital. In Kanpur, 9 people are feared drowned after their boat capsized in the river Ganga. They were part of a group who had gone to immerse a Ganesh idol. 3 people, including a woman, were rescued. Now, the government has confirmed that at least 14 Indians were among the 719 people who died in Thursday's stampede during the Hajj pilgrimage. 13 Indians are also among those injured. Now, the pilgrimage in Mecca city resumed today, though.
Many Indians are among those killed and injured in Thursday's Hajj Stampede tragedy. Bereaved families are asking officials to speed up the process to get back the mortal remains of their loved ones.
इसमें मोडालिटीज ऐसे होती हैं कि जो भी डेड बॉडीज होती हैं वो मॉर्चरी ले जाई जाती हैं। मॉर्चरी में वो सब बॉडीज जमा कर दी जाती हैं। उसके बाद सऊदी अथॉरिटीज जो हैं उनकी फोटोज लगाते हैं आइडेंटिफिकेशन के लिए। तब मॉर्चरी खोली जाती है, तब जाकर हमारे लोग की एंट्री हो सकती है और तब रिलेटिव्स के साथ जाकर हम शिनाख्त कर सकते हैं कि ये बॉडीज जो हैं किसकी हैं और किसकी नहीं हैं।
Saudi King Salman ordered a safety review of the pilgrimage. Officials also launched an investigation into what caused the tragedy, even as the UN chief Ban Ki-moon expressed deep condolences.
I sincerely hope that under the leadership of Saudi Arabia, there will be immediate necessary assistance for those people, and hope that injured people will get speedy recovery.
ولي العهد نائب رئيس مجلس الوزراء وزير الداخلية ورئيس لجنة الحج العليا اجتماعا للقيادات الأمنية تم فيه بحث الحادثة والإجراءات التعامل معها. وجه سموه الكريم بتشكيل لجنة عليا.
A day after the tragedy, pilgrims continued to pour in from all over the world into Mecca. Throngs of people stoned the devil and offered prayers for the victims of the Hajj tragedy. The Thursday stampede was caused by 2 massive lines of pilgrims converging on each other at an intersection close to the 5-story Jamarat Bridge in Mina. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Time now to take a look at all the other international news stories in Global Buzz. Chinese President Xi Jinping was given a grand welcome at the White House. He held talks with US President Barack Obama. Cybersecurity were among the issues that were reportedly raised during the talks. Officials have been intensely negotiating to reach a deal on cyber issues, a pact that will set minimum standards for the use of cyber weapons. US President Obama and his Russian counterpart, President Putin, are expected to meet in New York at the annual session of the UN General Assembly. Obama is likely to press Putin to live up to a ceasefire in Ukraine and test his intentions in Syria, where he recently dispatched combat jets, tanks and other military equipment. Volkswagen is expected to name Matthias Müller as its new chief executive at a meeting of the carmaker's supervisory board. The CEO will replace Martin Winterkorn, who quit the German carmaker amid a deepening scandal over rigging diesel car emissions tests in the United States. Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. FIFA's executive committee confirmed that the 2022 World Cup will be hosted in Qatar in November. The 28-day tournament will start on the 21st of November and finish on the 18th of December. The tournament was earlier scheduled for June to July but has been moved due to concerns of the heat in the summer. Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Shahryar Khan has threatened to boycott India in ICC and Asian Cricket Council events if the BCCI officially refuses to play the proposed series in December. He said it was disappointing that BCCI has not even sought permission for the series from the concerned ministry yet. India and Pakistan have not hosted any bilateral series with each other since 2007. Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis aim another title after reaching the women's doubles final of the Guangzhou Open. The top seeds beat the Israeli-Swedish combination of Julia Glushko and Rebecca Peterson 6-3, 6-4. The pair recently clinched their second Grand Slam title by winning the US Open this month. Japan's sports minister Shimomura resigned over the scrapping of the plans for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Centerpiece Stadium. The plan was scrapped due to the cost blowout. Japan had approved guidelines for its new Olympic Stadium last month, vowing to complete it by March 2022, but it did not include any cost estimates or limits. Well, that's the news tonight. Good night.